Get ready for the dictation. Start. Mr. Vice Chairman, now coming to some of the important observations made by the honorable members, I agree with my friend that if the existing laws were sufficient, this amendment would not have been required. At the same time, he pointed out, and some other members also took up the cue that the permission from Lokpal and Lokayukt would not be technically feasible, and I totally agree with that. We are here with an open mind to move forward. It is not simply that since a suggestion has come from the other side and therefore it has to be outrightly rejected. Actually, logistically, if you recall, what has happened is that this amendment bill was brought in 2013 around the same time when the Lokpal bill was also brought in, and coincidentally both the bills were brought in by the earlier government, for which they deserve due appreciation and acknowledgement. Now, at that time, because the Lokpal bill was passed sometime in February 2013, it was linked with that, and since it was envisaged that the ultimate controlling authority hereafter would be the Lokpal, and in that wisdom, this clause was included. In the 46 amendments that I am bringing today, I have already included this, and therefore, with due regard to what my friend said, this will be the competent authority. Some of the members were a little critical as to why Lokpal has not been appointed as yet and why the time was wasted. Somebody also said that it was due to a technicality of not having representation from the opposition. I would like to humbly submit that this was beyond our control because the Speaker of the Lok Sabha failed to acknowledge any party as the opposition party because she had to be guided by the figures and the guidelines. That is not our fault if the people of this country did not vote a certain party in sufficient numbers to be recognized as the official opposition party. But, sir, you will appreciate, and I am sure the LOP will also appreciate, that we walked extra mile and had shot to bring in an amendment to include the leader of the largest opposition party, which by implication is the Congress party, as the member of that select committee. So, in fact, we have demonstrated our commitment to the democratic propriety and not sought to take refuge in a technical position which would have gone to our advantage. What I am trying to say is that this is an open mind initiative if the leader of the opposition did not exist and there was delay on that account. The second suggestion is about the bribe taken under coercion and protection and attachment of property. These are two more suggestions. As far as attachment of property is concerned, the Prevention of Money Laundering Act has found an extension, but there was an apprehension which could have a merit that now, since you have a special judge or a special person looking after that, which would be an executive authority that may possibly misuse sometimes. He may or may not misuse, but hypothetically, there is a point whereas earlier it was confined to the sessions judge. We have agreed to incorporate that. If that is the sense of the House and all the members, let us continue with the sessions judge part. We possibly thought it would be little more convenient to have it, and that is what had inspired that thought. Now, for the bribe taken under coercion, we have kept a period of 7 days within which a person who has been extorted can file a representation and a due cognizance will be taken. But if the sense of the House and the honorable members is that the period is too short, we will extend it. We could make it 2 weeks. Ours is a heterogeneous society and we have people coming from different backgrounds. There may be some rural folk not literate enough. At the entrance of the office itself, which they are visiting for the first time, somebody may tell them that you part with so much money. There was a suggestion from some honorable members about protection for public service from prior sanction. Actually, the clause or the rule which the honorable member has cited is in the context of a Supreme Court judgment which is specific to CBI. So, in CBI, you have that practice of having a preliminary inquiry because they have to deal with all sorts of cases. But if we allow that provision of preliminary inquiry at random, which to my wisdom would not be fair to include in certain cases, instead of checking corruption, it may add to corruption. So, it may not be fair to have it that way. That is the reason a prior permission for proceeding has been envisaged. For instance, I am having a subordinate. I initiate an inquiry against him without permission. I may also have some motives, but I have somebody who is senior to me. I would be expected to at least get his permission and justify my act. This is the sense behind that. Stop.